survive, everyone must convert their work into assets that are scarce, desirable, portable, durable, and maintainable. If you're a living creature, you're converting your work into organic energy. We call it fat. Fat's the most scarce, desirable, portable, durable, maintainable asset in the organic world. It might have been demonized, but if you can't generate fat, you're a type 1 diabetic. Life is going to be short and brutal and difficult. You really need to be able to store energy. Now, if you're an individual, a company, a family, a government, you have the same exact challenge. Now, we all know Bitcoin is the best asset. And there is no second best asset. And that is why we are here, right? Because we need an asset. Bitcoin is the best. There is no second best.
With recent SEC approval for a spot Bitcoin ETF and the upcoming Bitcoin halving event in April, we're at the cusp of a significant shift in both the supply and demand dynamics of Bitcoin. These milestones are not just about Bitcoin's growing legitimacy among established financial institutions, but also about the opening of doors for a vast number of new investors through a familiar vehicle, ETFs. This video aims to navigate these waters, providing clarity on why digital assets, especially Bitcoin, are becoming indispensable in our financial ecosystem. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like this video for more insightful content.
Bitcoin is digital. And the entire world for the last 5,000 years has lived on analog assets. Real estate, gold, silver, paper, money, bonds, buildings, collectibles, sports teams, livestock, cattle, and bales of tobacco, seashells. Now we have a digital asset. In fact, this is the digital asset. Maybe this is the only digital asset. Now, what is that? What kind of asset is it? Well, you could think of it as digital capital. And we've talked about capitalism. There are hundreds of trillions of dollars of capital. Bitcoin is digital capital. You could also call it property. We have hundreds of trillions of dollars of property in the world. Bitcoin is digital property, something you can own. We could also call it wealth. Bitcoin is digital wealth. Analog wealth is when you own hundreds of acres of land somewhere. We can also call it digital money. Money, a medium of exchange, a store of value, a unit of account. But as you see, sometimes when people get wrapped, when they get focused on money, they immediately go to medium of exchange and they immediately think about a currency and they immediately get themselves wrapped around the axle in opposition to the peso or the dollar or the naira, and it becomes a very political discussion. When you come back to think of it as property or wealth, then it becomes much less political. And of course, my favorite, Bitcoin is digital energy. Now, fat is organic energy. The universe is made up of energy. Matter is static energy. Einstein showed us that when he gave us the E equals mc squared. He said matter is energy, energy is matter. Now, Bitcoin is more than these things. I could go on for a while, but the point of this is not to talk to you about what Bitcoin is. You already know what Bitcoin means to you. The real point of this discussion is to talk about what Bitcoin means to the rest of the world. Bitcoin's going to have many types of participants in the future. One set of people that are going to be plugged into the Bitcoin network are clearly individuals. There are 8 billion individuals on the planet. What are individuals going to contribute to the Bitcoin network? Right? The individuals bring creativity, they bring clarity, they bring conviction, they bring capability, they bring the conscience to the world. And of course, they are going to hodl. They're going to hold Bitcoin for life, right? Right now, there are hundreds of millions of individuals that have an interest in Bitcoin one way, shape, or the other. It's going to be billions. It's going to continue to grow. And a lot of times, a lot of our education is really focused on the individual. But I think that we can't stop with the individual, because these individuals form groups, families, corporations, governments. They perform nonprofits, they form clubs, churches. There are a lot of ways that individual creativity and aspiration manifests itself. And of course, one of my favorites is families. There's 1 billion families. about a billion families. And why do families matter? They're the future of humanity. That's why they matter, right? Families bring the compassion, they bring the community, they bring continuity, they bring joy, they bring hope. And a family is just a much more powerful unit than just an individual. Families will HODL. And we're starting to think about families now and how they join the network. But there's a third organization, third type of group, an investment company. This is a set of organizations have not been involved in Bitcoin much for the first 15 years of its existence. But investment companies can be they can be mutual funds, they can be trust funds, they can be exchange-traded funds, these ETFs, they can be hedge funds, and they have not trillions, but probably $100 trillion worth of assets floating out there, and they get to decide how those assets will be disposed of and how they'll be situated. And they are actually acting on behalf of families and on behalf of individuals. So on one hand, you can't write them off when they can decide to reallocate $10 billion from gold to Bitcoin on behalf of 18 million retirees that used to work for the Postal Service, right? And when they make that decision, they're making that decision that impacts families and impacts individuals, but they're also making the decision as a fiduciary. And in the last 36 days, have been an illustration of how important these kind of companies are, because every day in the market, they're buying hundreds of millions of dollars of Bitcoin, they're trading it, and they're building up billion-dollar positions. This has just started. We're 36 days into a massive adoption of just these exchange-traded funds, but it's going to just keep going, and they're going to ripple all through the world, through all sorts of economies, and they will have a profound impact, and in my opinion, a profound impact for good. It used to be, if you go back to 2018 in the Bitcoin community, if you said Larry Fink, they would say, oh, Larry Fink doesn't like us. And in the year 2024, Larry Fink goes on television and speaks to leaders in the world and says Bitcoin is a store of value. It protects the sovereignty of the individual. It allows you to achieve your hopes. It is hope. Larry Fink has said Bitcoin is hope. Now, what does that say to me? It says, we don't have enemies. What we have are people that need Bitcoin that don't yet know why they should be our friend.
As we delve deeper into the essence of digital transformation, Bitcoin stands out not just as digital wealth, but as a catalyst for a new era of digital capital. The crypto market outlook for 2024 points towards a landscape where decentralized identity, physical infrastructure networks, and compute are gaining prominence, showcasing the unique flavors of the crypto-native ecosystem. Ethereum's continued dominance underscores the critical role of smart contract platforms, while the advent of sector-specific platforms and the rise of modular blockchains like Celestia hint at a future of increasingly differentiated chains. Let's explore how these trends are reshaping investment strategies and the importance of network effects in achieving dominance in the digital asset space.
We're going to see more and more people join the network, and they're going to participate. Now, those investment companies aren't the only type of companies. There are operating companies. By the way, how many? If you do a quick Google search, 333 million is the count on Google of companies in the world. Think about that for a second. 333 million. There's a lot of companies, and all of these individuals and all of these families, they all act through corporate entities. Oftentimes, you'll see a group of 5 or 6 or 10 or 50 or 500 or 5,000 or 50,000. Now, how important are companies? Well, they provide all the products, all the services. They develop technology. A million years ago, before we had writing, before there was recorded history, there was a company manufacturing stone axes, which meant that there was a specialized economy with corporations. There were people growing food, there were people hunting, there were people fighting, there were probably people collecting the taxes to pay for the stone axes, for the people fighting. It's all happened before. And today, companies like Apple and Google and Microsoft perform pretty systemically important roles. What are they going to bring to Bitcoin? Well, they're going to bring new services, like Cash App as a service. They're going to bring new products. They're going to bring in your signing devices. They're going to bring you full nodes or integrated nodes or the like. They're going to bring new technology. One day, I believe Apple, Microsoft, Google, they will all integrate Bitcoin and layer 2 protocols like Lightning into their phones, into their computers, into their web services, into their cloud services. They're going to bring cool applications. You know, every single Bitcoin wallet and Lightning wallet is a cool application. They were all made by a corporation. They're going to provide support and maybe importantly, they provide credibility, right? Companies have credibility with the people. When a large corporation offers something to 1 billion people over the weekend, you get 437 million downloads, right? An individual can't get 437 million people to do anything over the weekend. When a company has a problem, they pick up the phone, they call the White House, or they call a senator, or they call a congressman, or they go to court and they sue. Companies actually can avail themselves of the legal system, the political system, the executive branch. You know, sometimes they're in controversies, but companies have credibility, and that credibility will defend the network. It will spread the network. It will enhance the network. It will actually embrace or enhance and support the lives of every individual and every family. We need them. Companies are not, you know, the evil empire creature that's against you. Companies are just made up of people. And the person running the company either understands Bitcoin or they don't. And if they don't, then they're just a supporter waiting to be recruited. Or there'll be someone that understands it, you know, and they own it personally, and they're waiting for the political environment in their company to change so that they can buy it corporately.
The role of operating companies and the integration of Bitcoin and blockchain technology into products and services cannot be overstated. The surge in Layer 2 scaling solutions and the exploration of new roll-up stacks are accelerating the development of the crypto ecosystem, promising more efficient and customizable solutions. Furthermore, the evolving macroeconomic framework and the conversation around de-dollarization highlight Bitcoin's potential role in a multipolar world order. This episode underscores the importance of staying informed and adaptive in the rapidly evolving digital asset landscape. Thank you for joining us on Unscripted Crypto. Remember to subscribe and like this video to stay ahead in the world of finance.